Tell us where you were educated.
Received my bachelor's degree in metallurgical engineering at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. Received the Master of Science in Metallurgical Engineering also from the same university, Washington University, St. Louis, Missouri. Received PhD at the University of Denver in metallurgy in 1965.
And tell us what the type or course of study is that you refer to as metallurgy. What do you learn when you study that?
Well, metallurgy is a subscience, if you want, of chemistry. Because chemistry covers the entire group of elements that mankind has available to it. A large portion of those elements are metals, and therefore a subset of all of the elements are metallic in nature. Metallurgical engineering is to metallurgy like chemical engineering is to chemistry. It's processing and making practical the various aspects of metals. And I've really forgotten your question. What do you study? Basically, you study how metals are constructed, how they're put together, what affects the ability of one metal to absorb another or merge with another, forming an alloy, how metals can be treated to change their properties by heating, by cooling, by mechanical working, how their properties are changed by nuclear radiation, which has become much more important during my lifetime. I took courses in my undergraduate career of extractive metallurgy, how metals are won from the ore, how they are removed from the ore. A big part of metallurgy has to do, or metallurgical engineering has to do with failure analysis. It's fine for engineers to design whatever they're designing. Widgets is the common term it was in school when I was in school. For them to design and build widgets, but the proof of the pudding, the proof of the design, is to put it out there in the hands of Murphy and his brother, and let Murphy try to handle it and see what happens. Many times things break, and companies want to know, why did this break, so they can build it differently and not have it break again.
So in the course of the last 40 years, have you had experience in failure analysis?
About 40 years of it. I initiated the first course in metallurgical failure analysis at the University of Oklahoma when I was on the faculty at OU.
How long were you on the faculty at OU?
I was on the faculty for 11 years and received tenure, was a tenured professor. Also was assistant dean of the graduate college. So basically I've been doing failure analysis is a very interesting and intriguing subject. And professors learned a long time ago that if you take a failure into a class and give them the assignment of determining why it failed, you will get that class very, very interested in the subject matter, and they learn very well from that. And so I was doing failure analysis as an undergraduate student. That was my first introduction, probably in 1960. So when I was working on my undergraduate degree in 1960, I was doing my first failure analysis.